Welcome back to Comics with Drew. This is Drew, and this is another edition of Comics with Drew in the Car. Awesome. My favorite, yours and my favorite segment, right? Well, today is the 4th of May. May the 4th. May the 4th be with you. Now, some of you may not know this, but the most successful video on this channel is not a comic video. It's actually a video about Star Wars. Specifically, it's a video about The Mandalorian, the gallery episode, where Dave Filoni talks about the real point of Star Wars, which is actually fatherhood. And it's a brilliant analysis by Filoni, and I talk about it, and my analysis is, okay. But that video is super popular. So I was thinking about it, and I was thinking about the fact that I hadn't been doing videos during the time when The Mandalorian Season 2 came out. And I was like, one of the big things about The Mandalorian Season 2, spoiler alert, is that Luke Skywalker shows up in the last episode. And I was thinking, I really should talk about that. And I haven't had a chance to. So today, on May the 4th, here is my Comics with Drew commentary about The Mandalorian Season 2 final episode, where Luke Skywalker comes back. And really, it's not even about anything that happened in the episode other than Luke Skywalker. I just want to talk about how I felt when that occurred. So, as you may know, I cannot stand The Last Jedi. It's not my faves. not by a long shot. And one of the reasons why I don't like The Last Jedi is because it utterly destroys the character of Luke Skywalker in terms of what he means and what the point of the character is. And in the original series, in the original trilogy, Luke, has this entire journey where he changes from this, idealistic little boy who wants to go off in an adventure to someone who gets angry and wants to save his friends and who wants to, fight the forces of evil, but then ultimately matures to the level of realizing that you can't win by hating things. You have to look for the good in people. And The Last Jedi takes a gigantic shit all over that aspect of the character, and it wounded me, okay? As someone growing up idolizing Luke Skywalker, he was a hero to me, and, you don't really think about this when you're a kid. You don't really think about why you idolize characters or why characters resonate with you, because you're just a kid. You don't really understand. But Luke Skywalker resonates with me because of the fact that he looks for the good in people. And that's the important part of Luke Skywalker. And when he shows back up and shows up as basically the very post Return of the Jedi Luke Skywalker, it's hard for me to put into words the relief and the joy and just the amount of emotional, it was like an emotional earthquake with me, right? And it's a movie and all, but the fact of the matter is that, when you live your life and you have things that mean a lot to you and you think that they're gone, but they show back up, it's something that is, it's really hard to put into words how amazing that is. Now, I'm not going to sit here and defend Disney Star Wars, all right? I'm just not. And I'm not going to tell you that you're wrong for boycotting Disney. I'm not going to tell you that you're wrong for being pissed off about Disney and all that stuff. And I'm not going to sit there and tell you that, this is nostalgia bait, and so therefore it's terrible. I'm just going to tell you that all I really want is Luke to be Luke. And that's what that episode does. He comes back, he saves the day, and he doesn't need to take care of Grogu, but he senses that there's a Jedi out there, or a Force-sensitive being out there that needs help. And he comes to the rescue. And in The Last Jedi, Luke doesn't come to the rescue. He FaceTimes Kylo Ren and acts like a total bitch. And, it's like the entire movie, he sits there and then cries about, how things are bad and woe is me and things are just terrible and the Jedi were dumb, and it just drives me up a wall. And when he comes back in the The Mandalorian, with the idealism that you typically want, it says, that's my boy. That's Luke the way Luke actually is. Now, I know a lot of people are going to say, well, Favreau says The Mandalorian's going to lead into the sequel trilogy. I don't care. I don't really care, right? Because all I really want is Luke portrayed well, and he is portrayed well in that episode. And if Disney has any kind of, I know this is a long shot, but if Disney has any kind of sense, they will make sure that they stick with Luke Skywalker as this characterization shows him. So as much as I don't like The Last Jedi, that's as much in reverse, opposite, that's how much I like the last episode of The Mandalorian season 2. And it's kind of like, it's actually, honestly, I know this might sound like an overreaction to you, to you fine viewers and listeners, but the fact of the matter is that I didn't have any idea that Luke was coming back, like lots of people didn't. And I celebrated the moment that I saw that. I didn't want to believe it was the case because I had been so, abused as a Star Wars fan. I just wanted, it's like I saw the lightsaber, and I saw the hand, and I saw the cloak, and I saw the height, and I saw the gate, and I was like, that looks like Luke, but that can't be Luke. They would never do that to me. They would never do that to me personally. All of Star Wars, all of Disney, all of Lucasfilm, they would never personally do that to Drew Williams down in Orlando, Florida. They would never play with his emotions. And then when Luke showed up and he pulls back the cloak and it's him, it was like the greatest moment in my life as a Star Wars fan. As any kind of geek aspect or component of my life, that was the single greatest, most joyous moment. I cannot remember being more ecstatic and more excited than I was at that moment. It was like my favorite college football team scoring the touchdown to win the national championship with no time left on the clock against the most evil rival you could possibly imagine. It was like my favorite soccer team winning the Champions League at the last second in extra time. It was a brilliant, amazing, incandescent moment for me. And I just want some of that back in Star Wars. I want everybody to be able to experience some of that here. So on this May the 4th of 2022, I just want everyone who are Star Wars fans to think about the good things, to think about the happy things, not think about, all the stupid issues with the prequels, all the stupid issues with the sequels. I put down all the quelling, all the sequels, all the prequels, and just think about the things that made you happy. Think about the moments when Leia says, "I love you," and Han says, "I know." Think about Han shooting first. Think about, that not being a moon. Think about the moment where Han realizes that Leia and Luke are brother and sister. Think about those moments where they blow up the Death Star in Return of the Jedi. Those wonderful, fantastic, celebratory things. Think about the good, because it's so easy to, give into the hate. It really is. I know. But we don't want to be on the dark side. We want to be on the light side. That's the enduring lesson of the Jedi. So, again, I just wanted to talk about Star Wars in a positive light, since there's not a whole lot to talk about Star Wars in a positive light these days. But, this was a moment that I never really got to talk about with you all and share with you all. So here it is. Again, thanks for listening to Comics with Drew. I'm Drew. May the Force be with you, and I'll catch you next time.